Which is weird.
I found one stone node so far, and I went around our main island, so I came over here and I was like, oh, tower.
So,
You know.
the islands in the ocean, I do know they do have a bunch of nodes. What is this? Why is it so bright?
What is going on here?
Oh my goodness.
It's blinding, isn't it?
Yes, it is. What's going on? Oh. That's normal, I guess. Thank you, Jack.
Bright.
Thanks, Jack. It's been a pretty wacky day today. I hope you've been enjoying yourselves, and I hope you like this Rust Store. For what we have right here in front of us is the Lunar New Year Week 2 Rust Store for 2026. And I get the impression, I get the feeling you like this one a lot more compared to the previous week. Why's that? Well, at the very top there's a pretty interesting looking green tier 2 set. Oh. But also, 2 weeks ago I first saw that wooden double door. I was looking at it. I made some comments. I had a little discussion. We talked about power creep. What we see right there is transparency creep. What do you mean? Well, look at it. Over the years, Face Punch has only gotten more and more lenient in regards to transparency. Look at the amount of transparency that wooden double door has right there. So, by all means, if you want to get a good look at all these skins right now, consider looking in the description, scroll down, all of it's chaptered. So, of course, during the first portion, we'll discuss the potential future. Could these skins work out as nice investments? But, of course, if you want to get a good look at all of them, in the second half, we'll look at all the skins, and we kind of consider, well, with these potential nice features that they have and whatnot, surely that could, help out with its value and whatnot. So, that's up to you. But, yeah. I am surprised to see that wooden double door was accepted. If we're allowed to have that much transparency, how many more wooden double doors do you expect like that? What about like Twitch drops and kick drops? Well then, okay, that might open the door to some very crazy, silly things, but hey, it happened. So we'll leave it be. Anyway, out of all these skins, we question which of them are actually abnormal. Now, if you were to go to Rust Help, it actually tells you like straight up, abnormal, abnormal, abnormal. You can even use SMM to APP. Just identify all the skins that don't have marketable next rotation. The ones without this tag are the skins that are abnormal. So I can confirm to you, we'll keep it nice and straightforward. The Lunar Sap, the Lunar Horses SKS, the Lunar Zodiac Spinning Wheel, and the Year of the Horse Handmade LMG, all of them, they are not abnormal. Which of course means all the other skins are abnormal. The Tier 2 armor, the wooden double door, the Tier 3, and all the other skins, yes, we actually do have quite a lot to chase after next week. A lot of very interesting things. So, first of all, I'll ask you, out of all the skins today, which one's your most favourite? Because again, I mean, the things we have seen, oh, okay, that is pretty sweet. But we're going to have to do very appropriate, very nice showcasing so that you truly understand what makes them so special. So, yeah, if I could just quickly also hop over to micro522.com, I can also point out to you, the very second that these were accepted, the top performing skin was actually the garage door. The wooden double door, perhaps people just don't care about wooden double doors that much, didn't care enough to vote for it, kind of surprised, didn't actually get that many votes overall. Like, this is another thing you have to be aware of. Votes honestly don't really matter that much. Lunar Pistol, it only got 25 people getting involved with it, but it still was accepted. Because at the end of the day, it's Face Punch that makes that decision. So, okay, cool. Understood. As I switch back over to here now, I'd like to point out that the Rust rotation was early. Like, I was taking part in the Armada event earlier, and that was going to start at like 6 o'clock my time, which would be like a lot earlier than a normal Rust store. And it still appeared at like 5:30. So 30 minutes just beforehand. So if you thought, oh, Hedge, it looks like you kind of rushed the short video where you showcase all the skins today. Yeah, I was rushing. Literally the second I finished it and uploaded it and put it on Twitter and whatnot, the very second the event started. Whew, I was quick. But yeah, honestly, it does appear people are a lot more pleased with this one. Now, I should remind you, the items, yep, they've already appeared, they've already become marketable. Yeah, you can't really chase after them again if you, well, you could try, but it wouldn't make sense. But yeah, anyway. Based on what we see here, let's also point out, if you're hoping for a collection continuation, you're not going to see it for another year. or maybe 11 or so months. I believe Lunar New Year 2027 is in January. Point still remains. You've got to wait a long time. So you might have that in your head that it could work out nicely because of that, but you're going to have to be very, very patient. In fact, looking at all the skins today, I see some very nice looking armor, but I don't see Dragon's Fury. And I am upset. I mean, oh, come on, that would have been nice, but no, didn't happen. So don't just assume everything's a guarantee. But it's fun to dream. Yes, it is. Anyway, so looking at all the skins, honestly, do not be surprised that all of them potentially drop off, although I do believe some of these will still hold on quite all right. Like, genuinely, I'm looking at that wooden double door. I'm looking at that roadside kilt. And I just want to point out, it is now about 8 hours since the Rust rotated. That wooden double door has only done 4,000 subscribers. With the amount of transparency we just saw there, what? That green roadside kilt? 2,600 subscribers. That it? Okay. Now, again, I should also point this out. Fairly recently, quite a lot of people are going pretty wild for the Fawns tier 2. Well, considering the prices that they're at now, and considering the price that this is at right now, I think you might notice that Fawns collection might be dropping off a fair bit. We'll see how it is. So, okay. Some pretty interesting things with this Rust store, but we also have to respect that, yeah, it's specifically for a holiday, although considering most of the people that play Rust, I do believe are from the Western world. I don't think they care too much about Lunar New Year. In fact, I've had a lot of people wishing that they just don't bother with Lunar New Year skins. Anyway, based on what I'm looking at, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the majority of skins do go below the Rust store price, especially as we're about to go through March and April time. Now, if you've noticed the storage collections, oh, they've already started going down in price, haven't they? Yeah, they have. Although, with all due respect, there's a reason for that. So yeah, Boxes DLC has been properly revealed, and, well, quite a lot of people reacted to it. I will have to make a video talking specifically about that. But you should expect all skins in general to start going down as we enter March time, okay? So that would apply to all of these as well. But just to remind all of you, when it comes to holidays, if the skins come out and they have very notable, very interesting pay-to-win features, oh, it doesn't matter. They are pay-to-win skins and people will appreciate them regardless. They could be Christmas themed. They'll still be appreciated, right? So if you're questioning, oh, could things still work out all right and whatnot, I do believe they can. I do believe they can. So, okay. Shall we now go through all the skins, figure out if they could actually work out right, considering the sales and considering their prices. Chinese panel wooden double doors. So I'd just like to point out real quickly, a lot of people have been telling me this. With the arrival of this today, legacy wooden double door started dropping down in price. Let's take a quick look at you. So I can confirm to you, that's like the Heatseeker revolver when the Olympus revolver appears. That's like the Olympus revolver when the old pirate revolver appears. Oh my, look at that, Whoa. Will that last forever? I don't think so. Also, the difference between this and this, it's not that much. I'm sure it'll recover again. But you're not the go-to option for a transparent wooden double door anymore. No, we have something far more ridiculous. So, yes, we now have Chinese panel wooden double doors. And of course, we will be showcasing them in a bit. But they have a very nice style to them. They do not glow in the dark. But yes, power creep, or in this particular instance, transparency creep. It is a wooden double door. I think it's 1 or 2 Molotovs, boom, destroyed. But how often are people using wooden double doors? I know I always talk about this for like single wooden doors, but it's not that hard to be able to get like a sheet metal double door and whatnot, is it? You will be using them, true, but I don't think it'll be forever. Depends on what type of base you have and whatnot. I can see a lot of people appreciating this, but are you going to want to always have these up? You can see outside, but people can see inside. Are you going to really go through the effort to spray can a wooden double door just to quickly double check? Okay, well, that's a bit of a discussion, isn't it? At the end of the day, Hedge, people know that's a pay-to-win skin. People know that is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. And we have seen skins that have been like this before, and they just go instantly up in price. And with the lack of sales, it's really surprising. So I look at this and I'm like, okay. Initially, I was expecting this to probably do over 30,000 subscribers. But at the current rate of sales, I'd be surprised if it even reaches 20. And if we could just quickly compare to other wooden double doors, let me remind you, back in August of 2025, we had that as a focused item of the month. 7,000, 6,000, 7,000, 13,500, 13,500, 21,600, very special charity skin. These still went up in price perfectly fine. This right here, it could probably become the highest ever selling wooden double door. Let's just look at this all based on highest subscriber count. Yeah, I think that could still happen. But I still wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't even reach 20,000. Again, very surprised with the sales, but there very likely will be a lot of people jumping in at the last second with the abnormal barders. It wouldn't surprise me. It still doesn't look like going to sell that much more than 20,000 if you were. So I think that's in a very comfortable spot. Yeah, the $3.50 price is a tough ask. But when people see things that could easily flip and turn out very, very nice, like I remind myself of the, what was that collection? That sheet metal double door collection, Protector. I remember when that sheet metal double door came out, and that sold for what, like $3.49? Yes, it did. Look at it now, $11.50. It got collection continuations and whatnot after it, so it did get that boost. This can't get that. Also, sheet metal double doors most likely get a lot more usage compared to a wooden double door. Anyway, focusing you. A very nice stylish design. Very cool. Transparency is ridiculous. I'm still surprised they've accepted it. But don't assume everything's just going to be A-okay. There very likely would be more wooden double doors with just the same amount of transparency. So, yeah, keep that in mind. But then again, how often do we see single wooden doors with transparency? I had a discussion about that recently, didn't I? With the boat door, a good few weeks back. It's not a very common sight to see, is it? No. And I don't think we'll be seeing a wooden double door anytime soon with some transparency, but I won't be surprised if we do. So, yeah. Skin creators will notice. Skin creators will also want to do that. Also, Twitch drops, kick drops. Yeah, keep that in mind. So, alright then, cool. $3.49, not selling too much, very appealing, but would it actually manage to retain that price, which is fairly high. A lot of these skins, in general, they tend to struggle to retain their value. Well, imagine a skin priced at $3.49 if it struggled. Ooh. So I'll leave you be. Let's now talk about the year of the horse garage door. So another horse-themed garage door. We're not surprised by that. We really aren't surprised by that. Looks nice. Looks cool. It's just, didn't we just literally have a garage door with a horse on it? Yes, we did. We literally just had that. Horse, glows. So, both of these, perfectly fine, nice standout looking designs for horses. At the current rate of sales for this garage door, though, the previous week's one did over 18,000 subscribers. This right here, I don't see it doing that. I don't think he'll be able to achieve that height. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, are you even going to reach 15,000 subscribers? We'll see how that goes. But it's another garage door. How many garage doors are we going to see in 2026? Take one quick look and you'll notice, oh wow, we've had 9 rust doors this year so far, and we've already had 11 skins. At some point, I'm sure we'll see Twitch drops again, kick drops again. Like, I am expecting a kick garage door at some point. It wouldn't surprise me. And then, of course, you know, the extra people with their own skins. Wouldn't surprise me if we see more garage doors from them. So keep that in mind. There's definitely more on the horizon, and we're definitely still on track for a potential record-breaking amount of garage doors in a single year, which would then only lead to issues. Far too many options appear. It's a struggle for it to stand out. It gets forgotten, lost, and the price dwindles. So we'll keep an eye on it. Again, by all means, if you like the look of a certain skin here today, not everything has to be an investment. You can buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator, keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put a nice creative designs in the future. Although, again, got to wait at least a year for another batch of skins and potential collection continuations. Jade Dragon, road sign kilt, vest, and coffee can. Now, I'll always remind people, when it comes to tier 2, the most valuable piece will be the kilt. The kilt is the only leg armor we have in the game. I'm not sure what could happen in the future, but yeah, keep that in your head. Now these, yeah, $2, $2, and $1.49. But could I also just quickly point this out to you? You might recall, somewhat recently I made a video showcasing like nice budget options for camouflage and all that. You might remember, I've talked about like the fish road sign kilt. I've talked about the sail kilt. I've talked about even Reptile Hunter. Still a bit pricey, but still considerably cheaper in comparison to, well, Forest Raiders. And cheap green kilts aren't exactly super easy to find. But I can confirm this right here, oh, okay, instantly the cheapest option. You might mention this, it's got roses all over it, and it's still a higher price compared to this. And it very likely, this very likely will be selling a lot less compared to that. So, okay, fair enough. And of course, don't diminish the other two pieces. There's still good potential green camouflage. We will need to test that out though. When a lot more people get clued in and realise Jade Dragon Tier 2 is actually looking to be pretty sweet and pretty useful, I think a lot of people might happen to want to buy it. It's just unfortunate that we had to wait another year until we potentially see the Tier 3 or the hoodie and pants. But if you wanted to have a very nice budget option for green camouflage, you're going to do a lot of mixing and matching anyway. And I look forward to potentially seeing a nice cheaper option for the green kilt. Jade Dragon, you're looking pretty interesting, you're abnormal, and you're not selling that much. This is kind of looking like a recipe for some success. So keep an eye on it. It is interesting. And look in the description right now, because I will be testing this out in various green areas. Plains, forest, somewhere else, we'll find out. Anyway, cool. Lunar Horses SKS, not surprised to see one being accepted. There was only a few, but yeah, that's a nice looking design. So props to Robs. I believe you've been getting quite a lot of skins accepted recently. Yes, wow, he's been quite successful indeed, yeah. So props to him, good stuff. Now, that's a standard SKS with a standard sight. If we could just quickly take a look at the other SKS skins. That suffered. That's doing okay. This is doing a pretty decent job retaining its price. That was also hot pink. I don't think we'll see another SKS like this ever again. Can't rule out the possibilities, but yes, this looks like it's going to be unique for quite some time. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually does quite alright. This right here though, Lunar Horses SKS. There will be other SKSs in the future that come out. And they'll come out in various different sorts of colours and shades and blah blah, get the idea. That won't be special forever. Eventually there will be more options and, well, it takes one good twitch drop or kick drop to have a transparent aim sight and suddenly everybody wants to use that one. This right here, no transparency, just a perfectly fine standard design. Might not be for everyone, but I have to be a little bit more cautious with this. It's the most recent brand new Skinnable. We always have issues with the first few skins that are accepted. So I look at you, whilst you're priced at $2 and not abnormal, I think I'll probably only go up to about $1 in terms of buy orders. Again, as time goes on, as we go through the next bad times, it is expected that skins like that will probably suffer and burn. How often do you get an SKS? I understand with the recent deep ocean there, doing a bunch of the ghost ships, you can get like the special crates and you can get the SKS inside. They are making changes. On staging, a whole bunch of changes have been set. You cannot use ribs in the deep sea anymore, and loot will respawn. So whilst you're there, you can wait forever, and oh look, it's back. Yoink. So, okay. It's fine for what it is. I'm just not fully convinced. And I have to be wary after seeing how the bed skins turned out, after seeing how the handmade NMG skins turned out, the first few that appear, or they sell a little bit too much, and they suffer afterwards. So, alright, cool, understood. Lunar Shrine Locker, Lunar Horse Shrine Locker. Not too long ago, I was starting to question, oh, maybe we won't see that many lockers this year. Yeah, about that. So last year we did have quite a lot of Twitch drops and charity skins and all that. I have doubts we'll match up to last year. But we're already starting to see a bit of a problem, you know. Quite a lot of skins being accepted in such a short amount of time. Oh dear. So let's say we end up with 6 for the single year. That wouldn't be too bad. Again, in comparison to the previous year, that'd be fine. In comparison to the year before that, that would actually be okay. But based on what I'm looking at here, I'm fully well aware people don't exactly like lockers that much anymore. The skins. So, with so many options appearing, it's a struggle for each one to stand out perfectly fine. And yeah, quite a lot of suffering last year. So looking at you with your lack of sales, it does look very nice and stylish. It is a very pretty looking skin. You will find out fairly soon. But yep. Opinions, please. What are your thoughts? And would you like to use that potentially as your base's locker? It looks very nice with the table on the inside there and whatnot. Looks awesome. So, okay. My concern is, will we see more lockers this year? I kind of expect it, to be honest with you. It wouldn't surprise me. Well, if we do start seeing lots of them, I would be very worried for the Lunar Horse Shrine locker. But if it does end up with like only, I don't know, 6,000 subscribers, okay. That might be different. So I'll leave it be. Emperor Tier 3 armor. A very nice and shiny looking design, but that's just the face mask. I don't really know what's going on with the chest plate there. So as you can see, a pretty stylish looking approach, nice and colourful, somewhat shiny, but is that what you want? Probably not. What you wanted was Dragon's Fury, because what we needed to see was collection continuations. Well, potential brand new collection on the horizon. Will we see collection continuations? Wouldn't surprise me, but you've got to wait another year. Oh, I just love bringing that back up again, don't I? Yep. Sorry to say, but yeah, that's the mindset you have to have. Oh, no. I've got to wait a year? Well, you know what then? That means, in theory, this armor could potentially struggle and suffer. It has happened in the past. But then, of course, if we do eventually see collection continuations appearing, it's still spike and spike price. So regards to the Emperor metal face mask and the chest plate, as of now, you've got like next to no sales. If it ends up with less than 10,000, okay. That might be pretty interesting. But still after that, knowing that we won't see any collection continuation for the foreseeable future, it's not looking like it's going to be A-okay. I would still expect it to drop off, both priced at $2.49. I don't think you're retaining that price. So we'll leave it be. We'll see how that turns out. You have the horse handmade NMG. I've got nothing against it. It's perfectly fine looking design. I believe this is the one with the little message. No. Well, actually, no, you got it right there. Hey. So you got the awesome picture of the horse and all that. Standard sight. That might be a bit of a problem for some people, but yeah, it's all right with me. Again, it just means I'm not going to invest into it. Yeah, I'm fully well aware a lot of people aren't exactly super happy with the aim sight on the handmade NMG, and it seems a lot more people would prefer a transparent aim sight. And even with the options being provided, such as the blackout and the most recent 2 Christmas skins, they weren't appreciated that much. Oh dear. So you have the horse hammered NMG. You're looking fine. It's just, yeah, I'm kind of being a little bit realistic, and I wouldn't be surprised if you just end up struggling in the future. It wouldn't surprise me. Again, I did say that pretty much at the very beginning. It's expected. All of these skins likely will go down in price. Jade rock. It's just a green rock. It's cool. Not going to complain. I know you got like the fortune thing there and whatnot. That's fine. Again, did it really have to be super wacky and super colourful and insane? No, it just needed to be a skin. No, it's all good. Right, so Jade Rock, honestly, that's fine. I think I'd just probably stick with a lower price bar than you. The lack of sales. Only making it more and more interesting. Lunar Sap, I don't know too much about you. This went under my radar. It went under, stayed hidden, it cloaked itself, didn't even notice. So, okay, it's a perfectly fine looking design. Let's go ahead and look at the aim sight. Do we have that? Oh, okay, there you go. That's not the best picture to do, I'm sorry to say. That is a standard sight. Yep, I can confirm it. It is a standard sight. So, what's going to happen with this? It most likely will just go down in price. If I could look at the most recent SAP skins that we saw being accepted, I know we've had transparent aim sights, but what else? Meteorite, down 39. Fault Sap, down 18. both of these, they're just standard sights. Ugh. You might recall somewhat recently we did get the Trust and Rust pistol. Perhaps a lot of people just don't feel the need to go ahead and buy any more for a while because that did have a transparent aim sight, and it's a very nice, perfectly fine white design. I'm sure a lot of people in the snowy tundra, the snowy biome, would appreciate. Heatseeker sap, perfectly fine transparent aim sight, pushing up to $5. A little bit before that, we also happen to have the B sap. Something changed recently, and suddenly people decided to buy it out. So now it's in the positive. That sold half as much as this. So that, seeing that you've also recovered and done very nicely, that's nice to see. I'll hop it back over to here. Right, so, yep. Looking at this sap, could I also just quickly remind you of all the saps we've seen somewhat recently? Sap from Hell, struggling. Modern Military sap, struggling. Krakow sap, struggling. Ruin sap, struggling. Before, they used to be very reliable. Now, not so much. So I look at you, and I think I will just stick with a Barda. Props to the skin creator, Mr. K-Seal. Is that your first ever skin? I think that's their first ever skin. Well, keep up the good work, and I look forward to seeing what you produce next year. Down over to here. Year of the Fire Horse. Rapid Dash, yeah. Fire Horse pendant. That's looking pretty sweet. Can confirm, though, this does not glow in the dark. It's pretty big. Pretty big. But, yeah, still, point still remains. Doesn't glow, doesn't stand out all the time. Could be a potential problem. It is a perfectly fine looking rug, though. I'm not sure if people are super thrilled about, like, Lunar Year. Like, do they always care about it? Nice decoration, though. Very nice decoration. It's just, yeah, kind of having doubts. If it glowed, okay. That might be pretty interesting, but it doesn't. Blech. Lunar Zodiac spinning wheel, I don't expect much with it. Take a look at the most recent skins. Of course, I'm sure you're fully well aware of the Dutch steering wheel, down 48%. What about Loves Me Not spinning wheel? Well, it's only down slightly, but it's still down. So looking at this, I might just stick with like a 50-cent Barda. I don't have that much trust in it. So that's pretty much everything. That's all the skins. And don't forget, regular skin, the special items that you see here. So, of course, we have the Silly Horse Mask, Lunar Horse Armor, the Horse Mask, the actual genuine one. Well, we've already done Bardas in them very recently. As I switch over to here, ta-da! If you get a good watch of that, if you don't understand how we thought about it and what prices we suggested and went with, consider giving it a good watch. First 10 minutes is a bit silly, especially with like a nice quick preview of some of those workshop skins. But then after that, we just sit down, we start figuring out how we're going to navigate it, and yeah. So I think I offered some pretty decent prices, and I hope that I'll be picking up some of these in the future. And then, well, I just wait it out. I'll flip them again, and I'll make sure I sell them for the actual Rust price, which hopefully would be quite profitable. And, well, maybe more, maybe beyond that. We'll see. So, all right, cool. So, all right. Those items, we've already sorted out that little mystery. But looking at all of these, yeah, I do stand by my word. I wouldn't be surprised they do drop off. It is to be expected. Right then, so I've probably got to go ahead now. Start removing some of these workshop pages. Let's get that all nice and clean. How about we hop in game? Get a good look at all these skins. You can tell me whether you like them or not. And we'll just get a good look at them and kind of like add any points or reaffirm the fact that we're looking at these and feeling pretty confident that they could work out quite all right in the future. Wake up, Hedge. Let's roll. So, first of all, we got the very nice looking locker. A very interesting amount of transparency right there. That is a very nice piece of work. Let's just pan to the sides. Oh, we got firecrackers right there. Uh-oh. And then over to the back. Nice and stylish design right there. The clouds looking pretty sweet. It also has what appears to be lanterns. Very interesting. So, let's now go ahead. Showcase it at night time with the lights on nearby. The horses are extra shiny. Not the other decorative pieces. You got a little bit of gold there, metal, yeah. And then to the sides. Do the firecrackers happen to reflect? They do a little bit. Oh, a very bright back. So it gives off the mirage. The idea that the lanterns are giving off light. But in total darkness, oh my. Yeah. I wouldn't blame you if you want to go ahead and grab this. This is a nice looking locker. Now, if I could also just rise to the top, does it glow on the top as well? No, it doesn't. But how often are you going to look on the top of a locker? So, yeah, honestly, that's a very nice looking skin. What are your thoughts, though? Feel free to comment below. Moving on from there, let's also turn the lights back on. Because now, we have two interesting deployables. There is a lot of transparency on this over here. I don't know how long it took for the skin creator to make this. That's a pretty cool looking rug. And then over to here, well, this is actually pretty special. I forgot to mention that this glows in the dark. And it is the only glow-in-the-dark spinning wheel skin we currently have. The beautiful thing is you could kind of put this anywhere. Oh, well then. So, let's go ahead. Showcase this at night time with lights on nearby. That's looking to be ever so nice and shiny. As is the rug. Looking pretty cool. But of course, in total darkness, can confirm only the spinning wheel glows in the dark. So you got all the animals of the zodiac all going around it. Do you like what you see? I'm still not fully convinced in regards to, well, it's a spinning wheel. I have to be aware that if other people aren't exactly like frothing at the mouth for it, yeah. So I have to be realistic. I don't think people are going to go super crazy. Maybe the fact that it glows in the dark and there's some sort of exploit in the future, it's super useful. We'll see how that goes. Somewhat recently, the bamboo cage, large box, small box, and even the locker, some interesting details have been showcased how to utilize them in a very interesting way, and their prices, they went up very nicely. So, things like that. Let's see what becomes of you. Now then, well, I think we've probably got the idea. That right there is absolutely ridiculous. I can confirm it is head height. Don't worry, we'll be showcasing that a little bit later. In fact, just scroll down, look at the very bottom. We'll save it for last. This is absolutely ridiculous. And as I said, or if this skin could have that amount, have this much transparency, surely other skins can also have as much as well. So skin creators, I do believe, will now be pushing the limits and seeing if they could go even further. They'll probably just be trying to do the same amount of transparency. What super stylish designs could you think of with tons of transparency? Offer your opinions, comment below. But yes, do you think this is overkill? Because it does appear to be pretty ridiculous. So, not too bad, not too bad. But how often are you actually using wooden double doors? How down bad are you initially when you start playing on a brand new wipe? So, yeah, looking pretty sweet. Just want to immediately get the point across. It doesn't glow. So, okay. Yeah, a Molotov can destroy it. I think, is it one or two? I'm pretty sure it's two. Anyway, light on as well. It still has the issues based on the fact that it's a wooden door. Well, slightly more powerful. No. Defensive. No. Sturdy. We'll go with that. Sturdy design compared to a single wooden door. But fire is its weakness. And it will suffer. So, I'm not sure how often they're going to be using this. I'm not sure if people can actively try and use spray cans in this as well. But if you only have so many sheet metal double doors, you might have to whip out the wooden double doors again. Nothing wrong with it. Looking pretty sweet. But in terms of what it has, well, that's the issue. So appearances, looks nice. Definitely matches the themes. It's just, oh my, wow. The map that I can see is absolutely insane. And I wonder if this is just a one-off, or if we're going to see this become a common sight. Are you against it? Or would you like to see more like that? You know what I'm going to say. Right, anyway, moving on. And then over to here. Another very nice looking garage door. Boom. Yeah, nice and shiny. So yeah, literally last week we had a horse-themed garage door. That one kind of looked like Mortal Kombat. This one, I'm not sure. No. All right. if you watch Jackie Chan Adventures, that looks like the horse talisman. Well, it kind of looks like it would be. Anyway, so that's a perfectly fine looking design. Nice and shiny in the sunlight. But at night time, with the lights on. Not super reflective, not super in your face, but it is reflective. So, okay. And in total darkness, that is a very nice, very cool looking design. I'm going to have to find some like very nice spiritual music to play when I showcase this in a short video. Because I definitely don't want to be talking, I'm too tired. So yeah, looks nice. But unfortunately, with the amount of garage doors that are expected, it wouldn't surprise me if it still suffers. Oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, offer your opinions. Are you pleased with the Rust door today? Hold on a second. I thought that was like a little bit of transparency. Don't mind me, don't mind me. I'm going crazy. Crazy over the fact that we have this green Tier 2 armor actually being accepted. So I actually never really acknowledged it. I just didn't think it was going to happen. Well, it happened. It did in fact happen. But now we have to question, is it actually viable? Could this actually work as perfectly fine green camouflage? First of all, quick nighttime look. The gold does reflect. But I was kind of focusing just the kilt because, well, looking at the body, looking at the coffee can, there is a lot more gold on the design of them. But as you might notice with just the kilt, whilst you've got a bit of gold right there at the front, the sides are perfectly fine, really. I don't see any issue with that. So, as I said, we might need to go ahead and test this out in certain environments. No glow, no worry, and a very interesting amount of green. We now question, well then, how about we go ahead, test you out in different areas, see if it does a decent job. So, from a bit of a distance away, you might notice the lighter green. I am wearing this with the flashback hoodie and pants, which at the moment, they are a bit pricier than what they used to be. Quite a bit. But with this, it does kind of come across that, yeah, it's pretty easy to notice that that green might be a little bit too bright, I guess you could say. But it is mostly the vest. It is mostly the vest. Coffee can. You've got the black and the gold on the front. Although I don't think it'll be that much of a problem like in the jungle. But, ooh, again, let's just pull back a little bit more. Yeah, it does stand out. Maybe I should just try in like a foresty area. First of all, though, let's just quickly change the time. Let's just see how it looks as we slowly make it nighttime. So, I'm going to get up reasonably close. And I am going to adjust. So, dusk. Or dawn. Get a good look at that. It is quite reflective. The gold does make it stand out a bit more. Slightly darker. Well, you really shouldn't be able to notice anything at this sort of, yeah, that's a bit better, yep. But then again, how often and how long is it like this brightness? Maybe for a few minutes. Isn't so reflective anymore, because it was literally about to turn pitch black. And then, of course, even more darker. Yeah. You're not going to like see that super easy, are you? So, okay. At night time, everything's dark. I could wear full white out and it would still be dark and pitch black. Alright then. Understood. How about we go ahead then and, well, hop into a forest and see if it's super easy to spot. So, closer and closer I get, but is it easy to spot me? What if I slowly adjusted the sunlight a bit? Is it noticeable from quite a bit of a distance? Well, let's get up nice and close, because I am over here. Yeah. So in the shaded portion, when you get closer and closer, all right, yeah, I can see the brighter green on the vest. It's not that much of a difference. By then, this guy, if he has a gun, he's probably shooting you. It's not too bad, is what I'll say. So let's now just adjust the sunlight again. Pull back a bit more. Get back to where we were. And yeah, it does stand out. I can notice the shine, but from this distance, it's not as easy to notice the shine. We're getting very specific. So yeah, very pretty colour. It's that issue of humans. We can distinguish a lot more different colours of green compared to other colours. We used to be prey animal. So yeah, shiny, cool, but perhaps a bit of a detriment. But then again, $2. Well then, yes. So far, what are your thoughts? How about we give it a quick run in the jungle? So in the jungle, lots more coloration, lots more varied sorts of greens. Now, when we talked about the Fawns tier 2 like a good few weeks back, I did say it would, like, if it were to work nicely, it would be the jungle. Well, I do believe the same thing can be said with the tier 2 here. Let's just adjust the sunlight a little bit. Let's adjust again. And yeah, you should be able to spot me. So, alright. You have to get somewhat real close. Like, you have to... How close do you have to be to really notice the gold? And again, how many people just play on, like, toaster settings? Potato settings. I mean, yeah. Maybe they'll never even really notice the gold that much. So from this distance, it's not super noticeable. As you get real close, as you get to about here, yep, it kind of like instantly like pops in. This is me just saying like metaphorically, so pop. There you go. You have to be that close. And surely by now you would have noticed it anyway. But yep, as we pull back over to here, now it's not so shiny. And it doesn't stand out so much. And in the jungle, yeah. It's definitely hiding it a lot better. So, yeah. The full set of that. Probably a great consideration. Now, you could look at, like, the Cell tier 2 as well. That's obviously a much more darker green, but same thing applies in the jungle. It works out quite nicely. I honestly think this might be a pretty good shout. All the people out there begging and yearning and screaming for Temple Tier 2. Will that do? Now for your opinions. Are you satisfied with this? Well, I'll be realistic with you. Even I would agree that the Temple Tier 2 would be better. The shade of green, the lack of shine and gold on it, yeah, that would have been better. But, based on what we're looking at here, I'm not going to complain too much. You could get real nitpicky, but it's $2 each. It's not bad. Go grab yourself a nice hoodie and pants. That's just the flashbacks hoodie and pants. At best might cost you about $10 to $12. All of that's about 20. All of that's about 20. Maybe try and get some frog boots if you happen to have them or not. So, yeah, not too bad. But what's your opinion? So, after a nice little showcase of that, maybe the tier 2 armor isn't all that bad. Talking about Temple Collection, I should point out, do you notice something? Oh, what's that? Oh, Temple Roadside Gloves. Well, that looks pretty interesting. That looks pretty interesting. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. As Mr. Turelstein just said a little minute ago, maybe this tier 2 armor was a distraction, so you stopped talking about Temple Tier 2. Oh, but you'll never stop talking about Temple Tier 2, will you? Maybe if you got the boots and gloves, maybe you probably won't feel the need to keep asking about it. That's what you could potentially have. I'm just saying. It's time to accept. You're never gonna get it. 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 You can't have this. You can't have this. They won't let you. You can't have this. You'll never get it. You'll never get it. You'll never get it. Well then. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping for Dragon's Fury Tier 3. The hoodie and pants have been bought out. It honestly looked like now's the time. We're going to have an actual like clothing and armor set to look forward to for next year as well. Of course, we could have had like Tier 2 made and ready next year if we got the Tier 3 accepted. Nope. This was accepted instead. And we're basically in the exact same position. Now we wait next year and hope to see a collection continuation being made. And hope it actually gets accepted. Ha 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 ha. Oh, it's so fun. But yep, that's a very shiny, very reflective gold design. Lots of red, lots of green. Looking pretty sweet. A very flashy design, I guess you could say. But what are your thoughts? Well, it's probably not the best camouflage set, is it? No. But it's for showing off. Look at it. It's worth so much. Right, total darkness. Just to confirm, it doesn't glow in the dark. Yep, it's very shiny. It doesn't glow. So, not too bad in that regard. But what are your thoughts? My thoughts are, as I said, got to wait another year now. Got to hope we see more of it. Unfortunately, I won't be surprised if it drops off. So here's hoping. Now to showcase the rock. An interesting green design. Nice touch of gold, it appears. And yes, all nicely wrapped up. I don't know what the coin represents. If you do, feel free to comment below. I have no idea. Obviously, there's some symbolism. Oh, you can say words, can't you? Again, so sorry, I'm so tired. Does it glow? Not from what I can see here. So let's go ahead and hold it in my hands. Yeah, looking pretty shiny. Does it have a good nightlight? Let's find out. So I'm looking at you. Doesn't really stand out that much. No, not really. So how about I go ahead and hold it here instead? Oh yeah, you're very reflective. You're very shiny. That's a very shiny looking rock. How might I show it best? Do I have to like kind of pose like this, and maybe that's the best way to go about it? Maybe. Not too bad. Looking pretty reflective. Nice and shiny. Can't go wrong with that, I guess. So, let's see if that works out nicely. Not really sure what to think of it. It's another rock. Cool. But, well, it's just a rock. Maybe it'll work out alright. I'm not feeling very confident. I guess you could say I'm biased for the silly, cute, odd, strange-looking animal designs. Yeah, I would say I am. Right, no worries then. Let's go ahead and take a look at the set. So, standard sight. Let's give that a nice reload. Hold you in my hands. Night time. Night light. I can see the body of it. I can vaguely see this sight as well. Like looking at it there. Yeah, I can see it. That's no issue. Here, I can still see the body. The actual aim sight itself, though, not very visible. But yeah, can't call all of that. Right. Let's get a good look at you. And let's strike a pose. Whoa, we got up close. Didn't mean to do that super close, but hey. It certainly looks nice. Got a nice touch of gold reflection there. You like what you see? Also, let's get a quick look at you during the day. Oh yeah. Alright. Not too shabby. But I do still stand by my word. I'm not feeling very confident. It is just a standard sat. But a lack of sales, well, okay, maybe that could change some things up. Maybe it could make it put it in a nice position and all that. We'll see. But opinions, please. Feel free to offer them. Now then. Oh, don't mind me. Just holding a brand new SKS, but standard sight. So let's just get a good look at you. Oh, yeah. Those are some nice looking horses right there. That's a nice looking skin there, Mr. Rovs. So yeah, recently made the Fawned Tier 2. Now it's got this SKS being accepted. But it's not exactly selling a lot. It's actually priced at $2, like the absolute standard price for a weapon, so... Kind of surprising that. Maybe people aren't too fussed about SKS skins anymore. Maybe people are hoping to potentially see some of the other ones. What do you mean? This past weekend, we saw 10 different designs for SKSs. I saw Blackout Collection. I saw No Mercy Collection. Thunder Gold. Olympus. I saw Funerary Collection. I saw a lot of very interesting designs. Collection continuations, brand new independent designs. I think people are really itching to get a good look at them, and I think they're hoping to see at least one of them being accepted. Next week, I really wouldn't be surprised if we see at least one of them being accepted, right? I am worried that this is going to get overshadowed very quickly. Quick look at night time. Right. I can see the body vaguely. I can't see the actual aim sight that much. I'm going to hold this. Looking nice and shiny. Strike a pose. Take a few steps back and boom. We're a bit close there. Yeah, can't go wrong. So if you're a fan of horses, if you like what you see, by all means, just go ahead, buy one for yourself. Treat yourself. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Love it. I am expecting it to drop off, though. But let's say it only does about 10,000 subscribers after its 7-day tenure in the Rust store. Okay, yeah, no, actually, that might be a little bit different then. Perhaps it could actually hold. Perhaps it could actually work out quite nicely. But you are like the third best-selling skin so far, so... Alright, we'll see what becomes of it. And, of course, boom. What? Not you. E? Ooh, there you go. Yeah, let's just pretend this just went perfectly fine. Oh, there we go, yes. A perfectly fine looking handmade NMG. Yes, indeed. Sorry. Hope you like my hammer. Alright. I don't know what it says, but it does reflect quite nicely. Night time. So, of course, we do have a standard sight. Doesn't appear to be very noticeable. Not sure if everyone's going to get, like, put off with the standard sight as well. No transparency. Nighttime look. It looks fine. Back to daytime. Can I just quickly do this again? Did we see an Easter egg? No. Could have said, like, Happy New Year there or something. Oh, well. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. Let's go over to here. Hold it in my hands. Caress it. Love it. Yep. Perfectly fine looking design. Another handmade NMG has been accepted. The first ever Lunar New Year handmade NMG. But how many people are going to go crazy for it? Well, I guess we'll see. Overall, I'll just sit here and say it's looking to be a quiet week. But if these skins were to work out quite nicely in the future, all the better for them to rise up ever so nicely in the future. So I've referenced it quite a lot. The most recent batch of Rust Workshop skin submissions, oh, we saw some very interesting skins. So of course, no more Valentine's, no more Lunar New Year, just regular non-holiday skins. For about a month, but then after that, Easter. In fact, we might start seeing Easter skins as early as like the 3rd week of this month, March that being. So yes, next week, March 4 swipe. Are you fully well aware that we are expecting the first ever barbecue skins to be accepted? So of course, consider watching the video to get a good look at some of these. But what I also do is I'll go over to here, and what I'll do is I'll grab this link that you can see here. Yep. I'll get the most recent ones, and I'll link this in the description right now, so you could go ahead and get a good look at all these barbecues. There's not too many of them, and over the course of this weekend, we do expect to see more of them. But yes, one of them has to be accepted. Which one are you going to choose? I'll give props to Shedmon with the very first barbecue submission overall. That's a pretty goofy, silly design. That is his submission for this upcoming batch. Some of you might have said, didn't he submit 2 this past weekend? This is actually for the next one. So, right, cool. We also happen to see an actual collection continuation. We've seen references to in-game. I've seen probably the best mimic chest idea I've ever seen. Like, yep, Z-Skipper, Dark Schneider. That's a very clever idea. It's a very fun approach. But I expect to see even more crazy fun designs over the course of this next weekend. So keep an eye out. Very interesting barbecues on the horizon. It might not be the most insane, crazy thing to get skins, but I think you might be pleasantly surprised to see some pretty goofy things being accepted. So, alright, just give you a good look. Alright then, so that's cool. But it's not just that. There is a lot of collection continuations to discuss. The return of the Pirate Collection. We also happen to see kawaii small boxes. Curse of the Drowned Captain's Table large box. A very nice looking design. But aside from that, we see Xenotype now delving into garage doors. We see Armor Double Door skins being submitted. It's the focused item of March 2026. And let me tell you, I've been seeing some pretty interesting looking designs being submitted. So, okay, well, fair enough. Keep an eye for that. I see the return of the Bamboo Collection. Void Venom as a longsword. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. But how often do you use a longsword? Well, if you have the skin, maybe you feel more inclined to use it. Yeah, fair enough. Lots of tool collection continuations. A transparent aim sight sap. We also happen to see a fairly ridiculous looking revolver. You might sit there and say, but that's just the fish revolver. Oh. Ha. Yeah, I don't think that would be accepted. I should point out there's actually a more regular version. This is basically like the Olympus revolver, the old pirate revolver. So I think Shedmon did their second one just as a joke. Or you never know. Transparency creep. Anyway, so B. Thompson, Hellcore's returned. Yep, we've got another Hellcore weapon. Various skins that you can see. Oh, and there you go. All of the SKSs. Lots of very interesting designs. But which one would you personally choose? Well, you know what I'll do? I'll link this collection in the description as well, so you could go see it for yourself. And, well, you can get a good look at all the skin submissions. There's over 140. Is that ridiculous? Night Demon has returned. Hide clothing, a boonie hat, Temple roadside gloves and boots, high quality metal tactical gloves. But then the competition. Which do you choose? Do you pick Black Ops or do you pick Naval Camo Tier 2? Which one do you prefer? You can only have one. I mean, we'll see, but yes, both of them competing for a spot for the Tier 2 armor slot. Maybe neither of them would be accepted. It wouldn't surprise me. Face Punch can be like that. Oh boy. Yep. And then, of course, to my surprise, Cargo Heli Tier 3 as well. So I would expect a lot of skins to appear for March 4 swipe. Maybe it would slow down a bit during the months, weeks during the month. But yeah, Easter is also around the corner, and we are expecting 2 weeks for Easter. That should be happening for April 4 swipe. Therefore, for the final 2 weeks of March, I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be like dedicated for making Easter skins. Cool. Right. So, understood. All good. Let's see which collection continuations get accepted throughout March. I'm looking forward to it. Keep an eye on the commits. Hamster water wheel? What? Are we getting hamsters? Hamsters and rust. No, it's you put a person in there and they run and it makes electricity, I'm guessing. Or maybe it makes the boat move or something. I mean, that would be pretty funny. Anyway, that's cool. Deep sea fixes. So, no more ribs in the deep sea. Loot will respawn and various other fixes. This is to be expected for like the foreseeable future. I don't think we're getting like a big, huge, massive update for a good few months now. Which, again, considering the amount of time put into the deep sea and the naval content and whatnot, all right, fair enough. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to keep iterating and tweaking and changing this update. Eventually they'll figure it out, cool. But yeah, don't be surprised about such things. But it would be a lot more interesting now People can't just easily breeze through and go from island to island to island. They're going to have to take their time with either their engines or just their sails. So, alright, cool. And then, Boxes DLC. Last week we had a bit of a panic. We have seen what these look like. With great thanks to Mr. Protox that we can see over to here. He has a tweet. He's quite literally showcasing it. He showcases that when you add things to these boxes, it adds like an actual visual. They're all like transparent, but then you can see literally like literal things being added, much like that very special tool cupboard skin. So these are special. They're not very beautiful. They're not very lovely to look at, but that's all part of the charm. Scrap makeshift designs. At the end of the day, most people only care about the fact that it's easy to read and it glows in the dark. That's all most people want. And that is why a lot of sales have happened with Xenotype collection and whatnot, because in theory, that's going to take away a lot of the demand for those skins. The big problem is how much is this going to cost? I'm sitting here thinking Facepunch could sell that for $50. I'm sitting here thinking they'd probably sell a lot at $30. I'm worried they sell it at $20. If you were to go back over to here and take a look at this Xenotype collection, before this all went down, the whole set was about $54. Right now it's about $38.50. Not a massive drop, but if that box's DLC is $20, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes even lower. So brace yourselves, things could get very bad. Maybe as time goes on, people appreciate them. Again, this box's DLC, you can't sell it. You can't sell it. It's stuck with you forever. I get the feeling, as time goes on, people probably would start to appreciate the more pizzazz, colourful, creative, and the large box collections with all the flair. This right here, it's cool with what it has, with the details. We add more stone here and it'll just keep filling up with literally more stone. I'm not sure if that's always going to be something people are going to go like wow at. So we'll see what becomes of that. Yeah, prices have dropped off for storage collections, but guess what? It was already expected to happen as we go through March and April. If there were a time for a price drop to happen, around now is perfectly fine. So okay, cool. I'm sure they'll recover to a point around the summertime. Let's also just quickly point this out though. In regards to, let's see here, player count. From here on now, it is expected to slowly start to drop off. I've got to give credit to this month though. Very close to January. But over the course of this weekend, will it actually manage to surpass and do a little bit better compared to January? If that happens, I think that quite literally will be the first ever instance that a February did better than a January. You got to go quite far back for that, I believe. Well, I don't think so. I think quite literally it's always been very close. Wow, March was better and April was better. A big update must have happened around then. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, a lot of people turn up there. Wow, what happened? I don't remember. Right. Well, cool. So that's pretty much a wrap. Start looking at micro522.com. You can see the top performing skin right now is the Nom Nom Barbecue, Radioactive Barrel Barbecue, Pirate Locker, Gold Chains Barbecue, Olympus SKS, Temple Road Sign Boots and Gloves, Xenotype Farm Garage Door, Sharbecue, yep, Shark Barbecue, Olympus again, Old Pirate SAR, yep, we got a very transparent SAR right there, looking pretty sweet, so, okay, cool. Regular skins are back, I'm sure you're happy. Now, in regards to the wooden double door, oh great, wait, work for me, live. In regards to that wooden double door, I did say I wanted to focus it a little bit better in terms of showcasing to you the head height transparency and whatnot. I wanted to save it for the very end of the video. So let's hop out of here and wrap up the whole thing. Okay, so with great help with the transparency in this wooden double door, I can see Dave, and I hate Dave. But yeah, I've got a quick glimpse of him. I whip out this Rust Workshop skin submission that is the Thunder Gold SKS. Ooh. And I'm ready. Maybe he turns his head ever so slightly and... oh! Goodbye, Dave. I hate you. So it can be helpful. But again, you can also see from the outside looking in. So you can also be prepared for such a naughty thing potentially happening. Oh, so alright, understood. What are your thoughts? That's a ridiculous amount of transparency. Would you allow that to happen ever again, or is it too late? What do you reckon? Boom. There's a lot of vision there. How long until we potentially see this on sheet metal double doors as well? Oh god. A high price of $3.49. Will we see people buy tons of them? Or are we just better off, with buy orders and all that? We shall see. And just to repeat once again, no glow. Now we turn our heads over to here to get a good look at that garage door. A very interesting design, especially amongst the torchlight. So, that's it. That's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you enjoyed the store, and I hope I gave a good showcase of all the skins. I actually go ahead and buy some of these skins. Can you afford all of them? But do be aware. We are expecting player counts to drop off now, and we are expecting to go through just a couple months worth of a bit of a dip. But then after that, summertime. And summertime is the great time. So yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best luck to all of you. Enjoy your weekends, and consider watching us in the Armada event. We are the US Navy. We still don't have a boat. Not a proper one.
Fucking Seabiscuit on steroids, bro.
Is that faster?
Dude, this fucking horse is going crazy.
Oh shit!
No!
It's a seahorse now.
Oh, my
No!
Wait, no, he's not. He's fucking dead. He's floating ass first. Look at him. Dude, he just moved a second ago, I swear. No, dude.